Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Adelia Desrani, and today we are going to discuss about the first is intercultural communication, and second, the relationship between language and culture. Okay, the first is intercultural communication. Language and culture are deeply connected. Language reflects how people think, feel, and interact in their society. Culture gives meaning to language, and language shapes how culture is passed on. As the linguist Edward Sapir said, language is a gate to social reality. Function of intercultural communication. Intercultural communication has several important functions in the context of an increasingly global and diverse society. Okay, the definition of intercultural communication is the process of communication that occurs when individuals or groups with different cultural background interact, exchange information, and communicate with one another. Okay, next. Challenges or problem. What happens when there is no cross-cultural communication? Without effective cross-cultural communication, several negative impacts will arise. The first is misunderstanding and conflict between culture. This example fits the concept of culture shock because the student is adjusting to new cultural values such as individualism and often debate which are different from Indonesia collectivist norm. Okay, second, discrimination and intolerance. This situation represents culture shock because the individual faced difficulties adapting to new social rules and professional behavior, as described in Oberg theory. Okay, and next, failure of international cooperation. In business, education, or diplomacy, cooperation between countries requires clear communication that is sensitive to cultural difference. If cross-cultural communication fails, cooperation can break down due to misunderstanding or difference in values. Okay, the conclusion is culture shock explains the emotional challenges of entering a new culture while managing cultural conflict. Focus on resolving misunderstanding caused by cultural difference. Both concepts are essential for effective intercultural communication in today's globalist world. And next, about the relationship between language and culture. Language and culture are deeply connected and cannot be separated. Language is more than just a tool for communication. It is a reflection of how a culture thinks, feel, and see the world. At the same time, culture shapes how a language is used, developed, and understood. Definition about language is a system of symbols and sound used by humans to communicate meaning. Culture is the shared beliefs, values, customs, behavior, and ways of life of a group of people. The relationship between language and culture show how language both expresses and transmits culture, while culture influences the structure and use of language. Okay, the first is language reflect culture. The word and expression in language often show what is important in a culture. For example, some cultures have many words related to family, relationship, respect, or nature, showing how central these ideas are in daily life. And second, language shapes culture and cultural understanding. Language influences how people think and interpret reality, the way ideas are categorized, explained, or emphasized in a language can affect how speakers understand the world around them. And last is about language transmits culture. Culture is passed down through language, through stories, tradition, history, religion, and everyday conversation. Without language, cultural knowledge will be difficult to preserve and share. Unless culture influence language use. Cultural norms determine how language is used in different situations such as levels of politeness, the form of address, and an indirect or direct ways of speaking. The conclusion is insert language and culture exist in a dynamic two-way relationship. Language carries culture, and culture gives meaning to language. To truly understand a language, one must also understand the culture behind it. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Adelia Destrani, and today we are discuss about part 2. It's about case study. Okay, this is overview. You can see in the slide. We can discuss about part A, part B, and part C. The first is a case study part A. Stereotype of Chinese Indonesia or Shenzhen. The first types of stereotype present. The stereotype present in this case is a general cultural assumption, which is often considered a positive stereotype. It is called a positive stereotype because it assumes Chinese Indonesians are naturally good at mathematics and business. However, despite sounding positive, it is still harmful because it generalizes abilities based solely on ethnic background and ignores individual difference. Second is negative impact of the stereotype on Shenzhen. This stereotype has several negative impacts on Shenzhen. The first, emotional impact. Shenzhen may feel pressure, stress, or frustrated because people expect her to meet abilities she does not have. And second, social impact. She may feel misunderstood or judged unfairly by others. And next, academic impact. People may assume she should excel in mathematics, which can lower her confidence when she struggles. The last is cultural impact. The stereotype reduces her identity to her ethnicity instead of recognizing her as an individual. Okay, 3. Positive impact of the stereotype. Although the stereotype may appear positive, there are no real positive impact for Sanson. The stereotype creates unrealistic expectation and limit personal freedom. Overall, it is harmful because it forces individuals to fit into a cultural label rather than allowing them to develop based on their true interests and abilities. Okay, the next specific stereotype highlight. The specific stereotype highlight is that Chinese Indonesians are naturally good at mathematics, money management, and business. This stereotype influences how people perceive Shenzhen by making them assume that she should be skilled in counting, managing finance, or running a business. As a result, people overlook her actual strength and interests. Okay, part B. Summary of Cultural Theories. International Cultural Day presentation. Based on the presentation, culture can be understood as a system of shared values, beliefs, norms, and behavior that get how people think, communicate, and interact with others. Several culture theories were explained. The first Hofstede's cultural dimension theory, which explained how culture differ in areas such as individualism versus collectivism, forward distance, and uncertainty avoidance. Second is Edward T. Hall's high context and low context culture, which describe how some culture really on indirect communication or high context, while other prefer direct communication or low context. The third is cultural identity theory, with emphasis how culture shape personal identity and social behavior. The last is intercultural communication theory, which highlights the importance of cultural awareness to avoid misunderstanding. This theory helps students understand why cultural difference exists and how effective communication can be achieved in multicultural settings. Okay, the last part C, case study about body language misunderstanding by Amran. The first, body language as a source of culture shock. This situation illustrates that body language can lead to culture shock because gestures often do not have universal meaning, emphasizing the importance of awareness to help travelers feel more confident in unfamiliar settings. Amran feels confused because the raise hand gesture means stop in Indonesia but hello in the United States, illustrating how cultural difference in gesture can cause uncertainty and discomfort, common side of culture shock. Okay, the second, cultural factor influencing body language. Cultural background significantly influence the interpretation of body language. In Indonesian culture, gestures are often used cautiously and formally. In American culture, gestures like waving are informal and friendly, therefore, the same gesture carries different meaning depending on cultural norm and social context. Okay, the third is about negative effect on Amran's interaction. The misunderstanding may cause several adverse effects. The first, feelings of embarrassment and anxiety. Second, fears of responding incorrectly. And third, social hesitation and reduced confidence. And the last, miscommunication in future interaction. This effect may make Amran withdraw from social situation. Okay, the last number 4. Problem solving strategies for Amran. To handle the situation, Amran can politely ask for clarification when unsure. Second, observe how local people use gesture. And third, learn common body language used in American culture. And last, develop culture awareness and offense. These strategies can help Amran adapt more comfortably and communicate effectively. Okay, conclusion is the case of Chen Chen so that stereotypes, even when considered positive, can create pressure, misunderstanding, and unfair expectation. Stereotyping individual based on ethnic background ignore personal ability and limit individual identity. The culture theories discuss help us understand how values, communication style, and cultural identities influence human interaction. By learning these theories, students can better appreciate cultural diversity and avoid misinterpretation. The case of Amran highlights how difference in body language can lead to culture shock and miscommunication. Cultural awareness, observation, and open communication are essential strategies to overcome these challenges. Overall, understanding stereotypes and cultural difference is crucial for building respectful, effective, and harmonious intercultural communication. Okay, I think it's enough for the case study. Uh, Sorry for I mistake and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.